Hi, John from Fine & Home Service. If you're interested in rewiring a house that's got knob and tube wiring, this is going to be a valuable few minutes. We're going to walk you through this house, show you some of the things that had to be done to this house. Interesting, in London, Ontario here, this is one of perhaps 10,000 houses that have knob and tube wiring. And knob and tube wiring hasn't been used for about 70 years, and this house was wired, I would suppose, about 80 years ago. So, young couple just bought this house. They moved in, thought the wiring was fine. They were given a letter from a previous contractor saying everything was up to date, and then they found out, of course, that it was not up to date. So, as you'll see, Courtney walk you through, she'll show you they've just painted some areas, and now we've got to make some holes again. The good news, though, is that this couple is never going to have to worry about rewiring this house again. It's something that will last longer. They'll probably have a half a dozen cars in and out of the driveway brand new before they actually have to do any rewiring, and the roof will probably need to get done a couple of times as well. So the good news is this is once in a lifetime project. Right, so let's go.
So one of the questions we get asked all the time is, are you going to have to cut holes in the lath and plaster or the drywall, the gypsum board, whatever it is? And the answer is, in most cases, absolutely we are. And in this particular case, let me just show you some of the things that happened. With the knob and tube wiring that was originally put into this house, they used lath and plaster. So there was just horizontal boards nailed onto the wall here, and then just gypsum rock put on top. And to replace the box, which has to be done, you can see that it's attached right into the box, just like cement would be, and it's virtually impossible to get it out. And one of the things they did with this stuff to give it a little bit more texture and security is put horsehair into it. So since we don't have very many horses around these days, I guess we can't do that. But you can see there's dozens of fibers of horsehair in here. And once this is all completed, our contractor will come in and patch all around this, and of course the painting will have to be done. Let's look over at this side, and you can get a good idea of some more holes. I think Courtney might have pointed this out, but I like people to be sure that they're aware there's likely to be some of this patching to be done around these holes. If you're going to get your house rewired, as I said earlier, you're not going to get it done very often, but you do have to know when you're getting it done that there are likely to be some holes, you know, in the ceilings and in the walls. And you know, hopefully we can come back to this house and get another video once it's all been patched and painted. So let's go down to the base. Okay, final stage of this. This particular house, as I mentioned, the previous owner, when they got ready to sell, thought that they would get an electrician in and do a couple of cosmetic things and write a letter saying that the house met electrical safety code before this new couple bought it. And of course, based on that, the new couple negotiates a good deal on the house. They buy the house, and then they find they've got all kinds of problems. And let's just look at a couple of simple ones that the contractor prior to us had missed. Number one is, and just come in here for a second, have a look, folks. There's a shower, and right from the shower you could reach the switch and receptacle, which was on the wall. And that's an absolute no-no. If there's anything that needs to be done properly in the electrical world, it's keeping electricity away from water. So all of that had to be relocated over to this area, and new light and things, which patching will be done. But let's look into the main area of the basement, because there were a few horror stories in there. So this is a two-story house, and the basement is finished, and it's not lath and plaster on the ceiling, but just regular drywall, because this was finished off a number of years ago. But what the guys found when they were down here, I think, were 6 buried junction boxes. So 6 boxes that were just buried behind the drywall, and I think I saw one over towards Sam here. And this was an indication of the kind of thing that was hidden from sight from everybody. You know, an absolute no-no. And there was 6 of these that the guys had to search around. And as you can see from looking at the ceiling, no shortage of holes to sort of solve all of these problems. And my suggestion to people when they're going to buy a house is to have us in prior to listing the house. Get all of this dealt with so it doesn't become a nightmare for the new owner and potentially cause problems after the sale. So thanks for visiting.